Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Beverly Hills 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my girlfriend Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. We've had a pretty stellar week here at the old Massive Late Fee / 90210. It is May 11th, 1995, and we are coming at you with another great episode of Beverly Hills. What did you think of this episode of 90210? It was quite something.
I thought it was good. It was there was quite a bit of drama.
Oh yeah.
And action and suspense.
Yeah. It was like an episode of Airwolf mixed with a soap opera mixed with, I don't know, Mary Hartman.
Okay, so I got soap opera.
You don't remember Airwolf?
No.
How'd that go? I can't remember the theme song. It was the A-Team, but they had a helicopter. That's basically all it was.
Okay.
They had some sort of super helicopter.
Yeah, they could have used a super helicopter, but they did not have one.
There was an episode where they were going camping or something like that. An Airwolf.
Okay. Well, they
what was
went...
his name? Jan Van Dien or something like that? I think that was the...
What?
Oh, you know who else was in it? Dick Van Patten's kid.
Okay.
Something Van Patten.
Alrighty.
You remember Dick Van Patten from 8 is Enough?
Alrighty then.
God. Like I don't hear that enough from just random people on the street. Just, God, that is everywhere. Alrighty then.
It is really annoying.
Oh, you guys are not as funny as Jim Carrey. Shut up.
He's not that funny either.
Yeah, well, they're not funny either.
So this week they go camping, as you
They do.
mentioned.
Yeah, they do go camping.
And I'm kind of surprised.
Always funny.
That-
happy campers, right? They're happy campers.
Right. I'm kind of surprised that Mr. and Mrs. Walsh agreed to let them go camping with their friends.
Well, I mean, how much shenanigans can people get up to camping when they're
quite a
all
bit.
together?
I mean, sleeping bags zipped together.
Yeah, I know, but they're supposed to be in a cabin, and it's supposed to be the guys in one cabin and the girls in another cabin.
It's supposed to be.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's gonna be.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have let them go, and obviously nothing happens, but it just seemed like the kind of thing they would fret about.
yeah, I guess, but I feel like maybe they needed a vacation day, so
Maybe.
they let Carol Potter and what's his name,
James Eckhart.
James Eckhart. I don't think it's Eckhart.
It's that?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I see it flash across the screen.
That's a good
once
name.
week.
It's a good name for. I think it's Eckhouse or something like that.
Okay.
That would be a good name for a movie star though.
Eckhart.
James Eckhart, or Charles Eckhart,
Interesting.
or I don't know, Aaron Eckhart.
But so they all go, and it's supposed to be Steve's cabin?
Yeah,
think Steve's parents' cabins?
Steve's family owns
Yeah.
it. Like 2 cabins,
Yeah.
dual
And-
cabins.
Because, they're rich bitches. But they're driving up there.
What happened? Were you
I
just
heard
abducted for a second?
No, I heard a weird sound and it made me pause.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay. So they're driving up and it starts to rain, and it rains so hard that the road gets closed.
Yeah,
That's insane. Are they in the mountains or something? Like,
they're going to Yosemite. Yeah, Yosemite Valley. That's in the mountains. Yeah.
okay. So they can't get to the cabins. And it shows them sheltering with firewood under this plank thing, and they just so happen to stop somewhere where there's cabin available for them. So
Right.
lucky for them.
A shitty cabin.
A very shitty cabin. They find, what was it? What kind of vermin? I know that they found
There's
a
a
mouse
spider.
trap. Oh, a spider. That's it?
Yeah, Andrea doesn't like spiders.
Yeah. And
She's had a
there's
bad experience with spiders, she said. I don't know, did a spider stand her up to prom once? I don't understand. what
right.
she
Yeah, there's no
is.
details on that, but haven't we all had bad experiences with spiders?
Right.
Ugh. I remember I used to have spider bites all the time when I was a kid.
A spider cut me off in traffic and then yelled anti-Semitic slurs at me.
Right. So this cabin has a ton of leaks. Like they have pots set up around the room.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the vegetable.
What?
I thought you were talking about the vegetable leeks.
Oh, okay. You're so weird.
Yep.
And
There's a lot of pot in there.
Yeah, somebody mentions that it smells like mildew.
Well, it would smell like skunk, kind of, right? If there's a lot of pot in there.
And also that all of the snacks are like wet.
Yeah, all the snacks are wet. All the firewood is wet. I don't know how the fuck they packed this bag, but
Right.
everything got wet.
It sounds terrible and miserable, and like I would not want to be there.
Why wasn't
either.
it in the van?
Yeah.
Like, rain didn't get in the van, did it? What kind of, like, acid rain was this?
Right? Yeah, very weird. So then Steve, always the asshole, decides that they need some beer, that's going to liven up this party.
Right.
And he's like peer pressuring everybody to like go with him.
Including alcoholic Dylan.
Yeah, he asked Dylan straight up, "Hey, you in, man? You gonna come?"
Yeah, let's go.
And then, of course, Brenda like wants to protect him because she doesn't want him to relapse. Well, he gets pissed because she's like speaking for him, which I don't know, I get, but
A little bit, but Dylan's being like a total dick.
he is like terrible. Like he gives Steve a run for his money this episode.
Dylan's got to stick up his ass.
So
But we find out why later.
yeah, well, kind of, not really.
Two reasons, I think.
Okay.
I think his mom's a big part of it.
Yeah.
They mention at the beginning of the episode that his mom's going some retreat or something.
Yeah, like she's going to the desert and he can't come, basically.
Yeah.
So where was he going to stay, with the Walshes again?
Yeah, I think so.
So instead of staying with the mom and dad Walsh, he decides to go with the kid Walshes, which makes sense. But he is not in a good mood.
No.
No one's in a good mood. And Steve gets takes Donna and Brian Austin Green. What the hell is his name? David
Silver.
Yeah, with him. And first he tries to buy beer himself. Does not work. Because, I'm sorry, he looks like he's like 25, so I don't know why it doesn't work.
Right.
And then he tries to pay this little old couple going into this like town. This is like the little town store. Mm-hmm. This is not even like a liquor store. This is not Beverly Hills. This is
It's the middle of nowhere.
Right. Like, come on. So yeah, he gives them what, $50 and says they can keep the change if they get him liquor
For a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Which, this is like 4 years ago now. So, probably cost, I don't know, a 6-pack was probably like $2.
It's insane. Well, I think he asked for more than one 6-pack.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way,
Still, they're pocketing a bunch of money.
yeah. Either way, though, they don't buy him the liquor.
No.
They just buy their shit and leave.
Seems like the store owner was in on it, too, because as soon as they left, he flips the sign from open to closed.
Right. I don't know. Have you ever had that experience, like trying to get somebody to buy you booze? And I've never had it work out poorly.
No, it usually goes one of two ways. Either they say no, or they take the money and they buy you stuff.
I've never had anybody say no.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I've had people say no.
I mean, the only time it was kind of weird.
But you're a hot girl, so, people are going to say no to you less often.
But the only time it was kind of weird was when I went with my friend Leah to pick up her boyfriend from work. Mm-hmm. And it was at a bowling alley at closing time. So it's like midnight, 1 o'clock, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he was talking to this guy at the bar. And we all walk out to my car. And he gets in. And I thought, okay, they told him we'll give him a ride home. He's been drinking, whatever. I ask where he lives. I stop at the liquor store and ask him to buy me some booze. He does, and he invites us to come into his apartment and drink with him. And I'm like, we're good, thanks. Then after we drop him off, my friend's like, why the fuck did you give him a ride? And I was like, I thought you guys said you'd give him a ride. And they're like, no. And I'm like, you mean this guy just got in my car? And they're like, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, at least he bought you booze.
Right? I mean, he seemed like a nice enough guy.
Apparently.
But he was like 50.
What a creep. You want to come into my apartment,
Right.
little girl.
I'll drink with you.
Jeez.
So, yeah, Grandma and Grandpa ran off with Stevie's money, and he was sad.
Yeah, well, he was pissed because he said, if I say I'm going to deliver, that means I'm going to deliver.
And he did not deliver.
He did not deliver, no. He's not Karl Malone, who they call the mailman.
Okay.
He's a power forward for the Utah Jazz basketball team.
Interesting.
Do you know why they call him the mailman?
No.
Because he always delivers.
Oh, okay. Back at the cabin, Brandon's trying to get some dry wood because their wood's all wet.
Sure.
And Brenda has run into the newlyweds. They see their car says just married in the parking lot.
Soaped up, just married with the streamers on the back. It's all done up.
Yeah, it's cute. And they meet at the vending machines, and somehow they know they have dry wood later when they're talking about it. I don't know how.
Well,
Seems
that one guy's
weird.
got wood, I'll tell you that.
Right. And so Brandon and Andrea go knock on the door of the honeymoon cabin. Come on,
Right.
people.
It's a very nice cabin, too. Like, way nicer than their cabin.
Yeah. It's funny, like, too, Brenda said something to them about, are you sorry you got stuck here when they're at the vending machines? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're devastated. Like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
And,
They're on their honeymoon. They don't give a shit where they are.
right. But it's not bad anyway. And like, I don't know why she assumes they got stuck. Like, that could have been their honeymoon destination.
Right. They've gone over from, like, Minnesota Midwest people to... like fucking snobs now.
Right.
Where they're just like, oh, this piece of shit town. Are you sorry you got stuck here? No one could be going
Havel.
here. Right.
Right. So they actually let them in, offer them hot chocolate. The guy wants them gone. He didn't even want to let him in, but the wife is being like super friendly and nice and like, oh.
They're both just in bathrobes.
Yeah. Well, no, she's like in a negligee with a robe over it. I mean,
Right.
it's not even like a bathrobe. It's like a sexy negligee robe.
Right.
And
He wants to fuck.
Yeah, obviously. They're drinking champagne, which, by the way, they're drinking champagne.
They are.
That we'll get to that later. Mm-hmm. And
Smoking a cigarette.
there was no cigarette.
Rolling down a flight of stairs.
What the fuck? So,
She's doing some stuff.
to get rid of them, because she's just like, hey, hang out with us, he just starts mauling her on the couch, this groom. So
It's
Brandon,
like, let me show him.
right? Brandon's like, okay, see ya. Like he's smart, and Andrea's just smiling and staring at them like creepy. Like I think she wants in on the action.
I think she just wants to watch.
I mean, she's
I don't
like,
think she wants in. I think she just wants to watch.
yeah. I mean, you can tell she thinks it's very romantic, but yeah, she's creepy.
Yeah.
So they go back.
Creepy and bossy.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, when Brandon's trying to build the fire, she's telling him where to put the logs. Aren't you going to put some newspaper in there? Like, shit, lady.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they go back and they're working on this fire, all of a sudden there's a knock at the door. Who do you think it is? The newlywed bride.
Yeah.
And she confides in all of them that the reason she's upset is she is pregnant and just found out he doesn't want to have kids.
Yeah, why did they not talk about this earlier?
Right. Well, although in his defense, he says later, I thought you couldn't have kids. You told me that you couldn't have kids.
Right. Misdiagnosis, apparently.
Yeah. So, I mean, he thought she couldn't.
He thought he was marrying the perfect woman.
Yeah.
One that can't get pregnant. And he also
Oops.
thought she was deaf and dumb.
Oh.
The perfect woman.
Right. So I think she's being very unfair, but, she's hormonal, whatever.
That's an old Dean Martin joke. You know that, right?
No, I did not know that.
At last I found the perfect girl, and her I do adore. She's deaf and dumb and oversexed and operates a liquor store.
Wow. Wow.
Well, that was the 60s,
Yeah. So
I could do Dean Martin's act.
I'm sure you
Basically
could.
never changed.
You love him.
How long have I been on? How'd y'all get in my room?
Him and Frank Sinatra, you're like, I'm telling you guys, he is like my grandpa or something. It's weird.
Well, it is weird if that's how you think of me.
Well, no, I mean, it's just like you're an old soul or something.
I guess. I have old parents.
Yeah. Well, so do I. Well, I mean, I had an old dad, not both my parents.
I have old parents that liked old things, and I, experienced old things when I was... And I have old siblings
Yeah.
that I experienced stuff with that like, I mean, I lived kind of like a teenager's life in the mid-'80s when, I wasn't a teenager yet. I wasn't that age because my my siblings took me to freaking parties and stuff with them.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the kids are all trying to like freaking counsel her. The groom comes over, they're trying to counsel him. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And they're very Budinsky and bossy. And,
Oh, yeah.
And they're all complaining about how their parents are divorced. And what it was like, you know, when their parents split up and stuff. And somehow her hearing this through the bathroom makes her want to come out and work on things. I don't really get it.
I don't get it either.
And Dylan just takes off. What got him so upset again?
He like Brandon said, "How old were you when your parents got divorced?" Dylan, you were like 6, right? And he's like, "Yeah, I guess, but who cares?
Right,
It doesn't
yeah.
matter. Better not fighting. I'm getting out of here. This party sucks."
Yeah. And so then he says to the honeymooners, "Hey, mind if I use your cabin since you're not using it?" Like, what the fuck?
He says to the honeymooners, "Ralph, get Alice. Is that her name? Alice Cramden. Ralph Cramden? To the moon, Alice." Yeah, that was it.
Sure.
The honeymooners. It was a TV show.
I get it.
I'm showing how old I am still.
Yeah, our old. It's weird. You're weird.
Yeah. Why
Just
don't?
so you know.
Whatever happened to the Dumont network?
What?
That was a 4th television network that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
The Ed Sullivan Show was on there. Your Show of Shows.
Okay. So Brenda follows Dylan over there, and
He does.
they get into a big fight. She's like asking him, what did that mean when you said to Steve, not this time? Mm-hmm. Like she's worried again that he's going to relapse or talking about all that shit. When the people come back, Dylan takes off on his own. And it turns out he's out in the woods by himself with liquor.
Oh, yeah. He found some liquor bottles.
He stole 2 of those little airplane liquor bottles.
Yeah, $75 a bottle from their mini bar or whatever.
Yeah, from the honeymooners suite. Those poor guys. I mean, not like she should be drinking it anyway. She was drinking, right?
How can and she was. How can he afford that on a bus driver's salary, by the way?
What?
That's another honeymooners reference.
Oh.
Since you keep calling them the honeymooner.
Well, I mean, they're on their honeymoon. I don't remember their names.
Yeah, I don't either.
So he ends up sleeping outside.
On a rock.
And Brandon finds him in the morning, and they decide to go for a hike together. Now, mind you, earlier in the episode, it's apparent that Brenda was supposed to pack Brandon's hiking boots for him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know.
Apparently, because she's a woman, it was her job to pack all the stuff. Because her stuff and his stuff is in one suitcase. I don't know why they don't bring separate suitcases. But then when Dylan is coming along, she repacked the suitcase so that she could incorporate clothes and stuff for Dylan. Meaning she had to leave some stuff out. I don't know why 3 people are sharing one bag.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, I would assume they have multiple suitcases.
You would think. I mean, the dad's been on business trips.
Right.
At least he's got a suitcase. I've seen the hard shelled suitcase.
He probably doesn't want
Samsonite.
them using his good suitcase to go camping, though.
I guess.
Either way,
Very
they got all
selfish.
3 of them sharing a suitcase. So
Right.
some shit got left behind, including Brandon's hiking boots.
And his lucky hat.
Yeah. So him and Dylan go on a hike. It seems like Dylan's starting to feel better. Mm-hmm. And Brandon slips and falls off the edge of a cliff. Mm-hmm. And this is where we get the movie theater level action and drama
Oh, right.
and suspense.
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo.
I mean, like, we know he's going to make it because we watched season 5.
Right.
But he's
Also-
hanging by, like, 2 hands, huh?
Also, it's really bad special effects.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look like he's holding his body weight up.
No.
He looks like he's standing on a ladder or something and just has his hands placed on this ledge.
And then Dylan's like got his body like all wrapped around the edge. Like he totally, I just imagined like Brandon grabbing his hand when he's trying to pull him up and like him just ripping Dylan off the edge and they both go falling down. And I think that's what would have happened in real
That's
life.
what would happen in real life, yeah. Because, a quick tip for any of you who are trying to save friends who have fallen off a cliff. If you want to try to do it, you need to be holding on to something else.
Right.
You don't have enough leverage with your body weight leaning over the edge of a cliff. No one is strong enough. No one has that much leverage. It's not even a question of strength. It's a question of leverage. No one has that much body leverage, I guess, unless you're 10 feet tall, to lean over the side of a cliff, grab another person, and then pull them up.
Right.
Take that counterweight to, because let's say Brandon weighs 160 pounds. There's not 160 pounds of Dylan from his knees down that's not over the cliff.
Right.
The biggest part of his body, his torso, is dangling over the cliff.
Right.
So if you want to do that, you have to be holding on to, a stump or something deeply rooted into the ground that's going to be able to, have you counterbalance the weight.
Yeah, the whole thing was just very unbelievable. And there were rocks falling on him the whole time that just looked fake.
His shoe falls off at one point.
Yeah, it was not great. But I mean, it's not a movie, it's a TV show, so whatever.
The budget's not going to be the biggest.
Yeah.
That's forgivable.
So, and then they come back. They didn't tell anybody they were going. They took the van, went on a hike, and told no one they were going. So everybody's just sitting outside worrying about them, thinking about calling the frickin' police and shit.
And talking about how starving they are after one night of not eating.
Well, honey, you'd be starving after one night of not eating, too.
I mean, I'd be hungry, but I wouldn't be like, I'm going to eat the van.
Well, David's a growing boy.
I guess, yeah.
But, I mean, it was really rude to take off with the van and not make sure they're okay, tell them where they're going to be, get them food.
That's true.
And they come back and they're all like, ha ha ha, like we've got the secret, like Brandon's missing a shoe.
And his face looks beat up.
Like they're filthy. He's got a cut on his face. They're like, what happened? You get mugged? You get beat? And they're just like, oh, we'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Like, what? Tell them
I don't
now.
know. I don't know why it's a secret.
Yeah. It makes no sense. And then I'm assuming then they go off to Steve's cabin and have a good rest of the weekend.
Yeah, Steve in his cabin.
Steve. Anyway.
That's my guess. They go to Yosemite and then they go to Steve's cabin.
Oh, and Brandon and Andrea hug again at the end. Like,
And she's got a big smile on her face.
Yeah.
They're still trying to make that happen. It's never
it's
going to
so
happen.
not happening. And it's so forced. There's no chemistry there. Like, let it go.
He has more chemistry with Shannon Doherty.
Right, his sister,
than
yes.
he does with Andrea. No offense to Gabrielle Sarapalera, whatever her name is.
Gabrielle Cortez?
No.
Solis?
Oh. Seracious.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sirtis? Saranima? No, that's Marina Sirtis. That's Diana Troy.
I'm going to write it down for next time so I can say
generation. Gabrielle Quintalia.
We're writing it down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's apparently Hispanic, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like
She
a Spanish name.
Does not look like it, but
Yeah, she could be.
I guess she could be, but she doesn't look Hispanic. She looks
Yeah.
very white.
Well, her skin is definitely very pale. Yeah.
If she does have that heritage, maybe it's her dad and her mom is, a ghost.
Right?
and that balances it out.
But what if she's just like Spanish, not from like Mexico
Well,
or
but-
Cuba, but from Spain? Are they like lighter skinned?
Nah, they're pretty olive skinned. I mean, they're not so. If you're looking at where it is in the world, Spain is slightly north of Mexico and certainly South America. So because of that, there's not as much sun. Therefore, not as much melanin in the skin tone. So yes, people in Mexico are slightly darker skinned, and as you go farther down in South America, obviously they become more and more dark skinned as you get more and more sun exposure in their heritage. So they're a little bit lighter skinned. Spanish people tend to be a little more lighter skinned than Mexican people, but they're not as light skinned as French or English or anything like that because you're going more north,
Europe.
less sun.
So Northern Europe is
Northern Europe is more white because you get to Ireland with the Irish, it's like the epitome of white because there's not as much sun.
right. Okay.
But they're farther. Spain is southern Europe. Definitely, it's along the same parallel as like Italy and Greece, and they're all those peoples in there have a certain hue to their skin, a certain olive toned skin because of the amount of sun that they get year in and year out.
I don't know. We'll have to see her at the tan someday. Anyway, that's it for this week.
It is. So yeah, I mean, what did you think of the episode? Like you said, it had drama. The couple, I guess, comes to some sort of resolution.
Yeah, they make up and they're like gonna take time to adjust to the fact that the baby's coming. They're like, oh, we have 9 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when Dylan turns into a major jackass too. He's like, well, you better, just have an abortion now.
You better love that baby or
if
fucking
you're not
kill
love
it.
that baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He was a jerk.
But he apologizes later. And then the guy's like, hey, Dylan goes, if it's a boy, you can name it Dylan. He's like, well, he'd be in good company then, son.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you know that? He's a teenager that broke into your cabin one night and then yelled at you about that you should get an abortion.
And stole booze if they happened to notice that was gone.
What a great guy.
Right? Yeah, he gave them nothing to work with.
But it's almost as if they knew he was one of the stars of the show.
Right? Oh, we just sense that you're good.
But yeah, I thought it was a decent episode. It had a lot of going for it. We got some character growth from some people, and it was interesting.
And Dylan and Brenda seem to be, getting close again.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes for them to.
I mean, he was a jerk to her, and she's still hanging out.
Yeah.
So
He wants her for sure. He said it many times.
yeah.
She is still like, I don't, her story seems to change week by week.
Yeah.
Of why.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like she does want him.
Yeah. Well, but why don't you take us home where they should have gone instead of staying in the woods?
Right. All right. So go ahead and tell your friends. Write us at latefee1994@aol.com and give us the stars, the likes, and all the stuff.
All right. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.